Fuss-free phones looks back to a time before phones were complicated. Back to the days when you just picked up the phone, spoke to an operator and asked who you wanted to speak to. It's a new service for people who struggle using modern mobile phones. Today we're used to things like tapping, swiping, scrolling and using soft keys, but for many people these are alien concepts. With fuss-free phones, the customer only needs to worry about 3 things: keeping the phone on, keeping it charged, and using this one button. To make it easy to keep the phone charged, it comes with a docking station. What makes this special is a combination of device and service, which is what happens when you press this button. The call goes through to a fuss-free phone's telephonist.
Fuss-free phones. Hello, Mrs. Stanhope.
Hello, may I speak with my daughter, please?
Yes, is that your daughter Yvonne?
It is.
I'll put you through now.
Thank you very much.
The service is simple and easy to use. All the complicated aspects of using a mobile phone are handled by our professional telephonists in a London call centre. At the moment, we offer 3 services: connect a call, send a text message, and book a cab. The billing is designed to be just as simple. It's £20 a month, prepaid for 130 minutes, which is more than enough for the vast majority of our customers. If you do get close to the limit, we'll call and suggest how many extra minutes you need, or start your next month's 130 minutes early. You will never get charged more without us asking you first. You can dial regular calls directly using your keypad, but calls to expensive numbers have to go through our telephonist, who will tell you exactly how much they cost before putting you through. All of our costs are completely controllable. Don't just take my word for it. Let's hear what a customer has to say.
So I bought Mum the phone for her 80th birthday. You've been trying it for a couple of months, haven't you? How do you like it?
It's absolutely wonderful. First of all, I can flip it open, which is wonderful. I can see the time. I can see the buttons without my glasses, which is a great plus. But the main thing is, of course, I just have to press that. I get somebody answering at the other end at the, where is it? The call centre, I think you called it. And I say, I want to get my daughter Sarah, or my son Ben, or my son John, or whosoever. And they just, you come on the phone.
And one of the great things is you keep it on now, because you used to have a phone and it was always off in your handbag.
Well, it would run out, and the fiddling to put in little things to plug it in. Now, all I have to do, I keep it by the bed, in fact, at night, in that.
Right, okay.
But I went away last weekend, and it was off. I'd forgotten to take my charger, as one does, and it didn't run out. It was 3 days. It was wonderful.
So your grandson's been telling me he keeps getting texts from you, and he's never got those before. So how are you doing those?
Ah, well, I phoned this little button. I say, please send a text to Noah to give me a ring.
Okay.
Noah has promised he's going to teach me how to do texts.
And the great thing, it's not an emergency service, but I do know that you can get through to us in an emergency. It gives me peace of mind knowing that you've got that.
So Simon, I've known you for a long while and I know you're passionate about phones for the senior market. Tell me, what led you to set up fuss-free phones?
Well, I've been working in and around the space of phones for seniors for more than 15 years, but it was when we were working on the conference about phones for seniors and listening to a speaker who runs a similar service to fuss-free phones in France, where he said it's about integrating the device and the service that really matters. Mm-hmm. And I looked at what he's doing with his company called Basil and decided there was scope to do it here in the UK.
Why not offer this as an add-on service for people that already have a mobile phone?
It's all about making the service simple. By being an MVNO, which is a virtual network, we run off the back of O2, but we look just like a network in the same way that Tesco or Virgin or giffgaff looks like a full network. This gives us access to the audio path, so we can do stuff in the sound that makes the sound quality better for people who have hearing problems. Mm-hmm. But really the important thing is that it's complete. We can send out a phone with one of our SIMs in, all configured, all set up, ready to go, and then we've got control over the billing, so we can make the tariffs really simple.
How far have you got with developing the service?
We've been running the beta test since August. Mm-hmm. We've got a number of people already using the service. We've been developing the desktop software that runs here at the call centre so that the telephonists can see the numbers for the people dialing in. We've written the billing software. We're pretty much ready to go.
So you're looking for funding through CrowdCube. What's the business case?
It is a huge market. The UK population of people over 65 is about 11 million, Now, an awful lot of those are going to be quite happy with tapping and swiping on an iPhone or a Galaxy S4, but everyone suffers from diminished hearing, from eyesight getting worse, from reduced mobility of their fingers, and even people who are happy with the technology very often find that it's nicer to have somebody do things for them. So we're looking at a very large market, and it's quite a wealthy market. The government commissioned the Institute of Fiscal Studies to look into problems with pensions and found that actually about 40% of retired people class themselves as comfortable. So now is the right time to launch a premium phone market.
So what are your targets?
We want to hit something like 10,000 users in the first year and 145,000 over 3 years. Now that sounds like a lot, but if you look, Doro mobile phones say they've sold 200,000 phones in 1 year. So 10,000 in the first year isn't aiming particularly high.
So what does that mean in terms of money?
We're looking at revenues of somewhere around £350,000 a month after the first year, rising to about 1.5 million per month at the end of 3 years, and that's on a margin of something like 30%.
What backing have you had so far?
The initial investment has been SCIS investment from a chap called Keith Young, who's backed my businesses in the past. He's invested £100,000 for 30%, which is the most that he was allowed to do under SCIS. And I've got two other backers. I've got Jez San, who was the first person to get an OBE for services to the computer games industry, and I've got Cliff Stanford, who was the first person to launch domestic internet in the UK. Cliff and Jez have put in £20,000 each, and I'm looking for a further £60,000 through CrowdCube to bring the total investment to £200,000.
What do you need the funding for?
We've got the core services, which are route a call, send a text message, and book a cab. I'd like to develop a fourth service, which is Where Am I?, because that's been particularly requested by the RNIB. We also need to buy some handsets in bulk and SIM cards in bulk and to configure those. I also want to spend some of the money on customer acquisition.
That sounds great. When do you expect to go live?